all up in your area. Yo, it's funny how all the be always serving us all up in between they where they wanna carry us. Hit you good, then I hit them off with the alias. Various, they wanna marry us. Yo, it's flip mode, you stupid, you know we bout to bust. 7-figure money, the label preparing us. Fight the dust instead of you making the fuss. People know better cause they ain't no comparing us. Mad at us, yes you know better, we fabulous.
It's the NFL on EA Sports. And coming up, we'll see the electric Jaden Daniels. He's going to have to air it out plenty this week. We can hardly wait for the start of this one. And it's coming right up on EA Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. It's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And what I saw in Bill was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Stroud looking to throw. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And Stroud now to throw. He's got Ayuk once again. And he was able to shed 1 tackle, but could not get away from there. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. When you look at this defense, they're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the number 1 overall offense in the league.
And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Stroud to throw it. Back of the end zone. Can he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal. And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to get a review of that last play. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining. White, touchdown. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it, and he gets it done.
Evan McPherson for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was Rachaad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
And he is, without any question at all, the focal point of this offense. Had an unbelievable game running the football last time out. And we're not just talking about little scampers here and there for 5 or 10 yards. We're talking about big, long, explosive, field-flipping runs. And that's something this defense is well aware of.
First carry for James Conner. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down. A check on the numbers last week for Conner. Just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did indeed. Some very long runs, and that total, scary. Now a 2nd and 6.
Let's go now.
Daniels looking to throw. On the move to his left. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Conner up the middle. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Hand off to Spears. And some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 12 yards there and a first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. On 1st and 10, it's Spears. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Spears will take it in. Touchdown. Well, Charles, clearly they wanted to send a message there and impose their will. They score on their opening possession on a drive comprised entirely of rushing the football.
Message sent. I don't know that the team on the other side of the field wanted to receive it, but what a statement on their opening drive. Just run it all the way downfield, no passes. That absolutely sets the tone that they're going to be physical in this game.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So this... spans 7 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense, led by their running back, headed out for the second possession. He had the touchdown on the opening drive, and that has become a theme throughout the season. If you take a look at where he ranks among the leaders in rushing touchdowns. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So nothing doing there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Here's Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Throwing now is Stroud. Looks for White, but it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. Down the left sideline. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Stroud out of the gun here. Completes it again to Dobbs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, if you like the matchup and that connection works to start the drive, no reason to go away from it. Let that defense prove that they can stop you. And here, it's 2 throws and 2 first downs.
All right.
First down, here's White. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. When you look at this defense, it's a unit that has had all sorts of issues against the pass. Dead last in the NFL, number 32 in the league.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season, but they have any hopes of making waves in January. They've got to improve in this area.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
This is White on the screen. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. The home team's offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And his numbers this year have been eye-popping in a lot of categories. In one area that stands out, he's the NFL leader in rushing touchdowns by a quarterback here in the latter part of the season. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. From the 38 now, here's a 2nd down and 4. And Spears with another carry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. 3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. And here's a give to Spears. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 62 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And he continues to have success running the ball here in the first half as he's already closing in on 100 yards for the game. From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard.
Here we go, set.
Here's a run by Spears. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. To the air goes Daniels. Out to his left. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the first. Well, these two teams, you may recall, they didn't play each other till late in the year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 13. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Spears. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Dancing to his left. A short throw there, pulled in by all. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Rolling to his left. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
And now a run with Spears. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Right back to Spears. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Tajay Spears, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now 21-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Well, now how about this return? And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. This pass deep for Okonkwo. And this one is incomplete.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's to the rookie from Texas, Adnan Mitchell. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 6.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They stay on the ground with White. And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. Romeo Doubs. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because When he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the second-year quarterback.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The home team's offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare for defenses to try and contain all year long. NFL leader in rushing yards at the QB position here late in the season. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Buying time to his left. On target to his man, Likely. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
One of the things that led this organization to commit to him as a starting quarterback as a rookie, his ability to keep his eyes downfield and make plays out of the pocket. Able to see the receiver while on the move and complete a really accurate throw.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a handoff up the middle. Spears. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Here's Daniels. A short throw there, pulled in by all. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
They'll run on 1st down. Spears, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Throwing out left and finding Likely. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
On the jump.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. 89 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7.
Did he get the feed down? Yes! Touchdown! Drew Sample, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. They run straight ahead here with White. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut it down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
Out now is the punter, Braden Mann. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Spears. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sets his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
Throwing now is Daniels. Steps away. And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
And cue the applause, and there it is for him, the mark he's been aiming for all season long. 1,000 yards. Just the 3rd quarterback to reach that milestone, joining Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick. That's a season's worth of work and a huge commitment to get him the touches that he needed to make that happen. Congratulations.
He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Now Daniels steps away to his left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Brandon, you know I'm all about quarterbacks protecting themselves, but I have to admit it, I liked what I just saw there. That rookie wasn't afraid of absorbing a big hit. Now, you don't want to see him taking those shots all game long, but he picked up the first down, kept fighting for yards, and was willing to embrace some contact to keep the play moving.
On first down, Spears. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. Give to Davis Price up the middle here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. To throw is Daniels. On the move to his left. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down.
No shortage of impressive moments for him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Davis Price up the middle. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 3. Davis Price once more. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. On the handoff, Davis Price. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Forced out to his left. That's to his tight end all. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Give him 32 on the play.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out as his guys are able to extend their lead. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run from Ty Davis-Price. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now Brandon Ayuk ready to bring out the rest of this offense here for this upcoming series. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. 2nd and 10. Now Stroud. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
But whatever they called on defense, they made sure they were ready for the pass on that snap, made the proper adjustments, and helped force an incompletion.
Here's Braden Mann now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And here comes Berrios. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Ty Davis-Price and the rest of this offense returning to the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Another touch for Davis-Price. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This one hauled in by Sample. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. Back to throw. Daniels being chased out left. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. He has been elusive in this first half. You see the rushing numbers for him. This defense is going to have to find some way to keep him in the pocket. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels dancing to his left. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Back to throw. Daniels buying time to his left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Jaden Daniels, as the first half is winding down, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with it. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Tucker now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Tackle made that time by Aleem McNeil. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. Some critical games going on as teams fight for those final playoff berths. Let's get you around the NFL here in a busy Week 16. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And it's the home team who are out in front. A touchdown on the ground there for James Cook. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Cooper Kupp, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. The rookie #1 overall pick, Caleb Williams, with a touchdown pass there. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far, but there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be, but halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Third quarter starts with a run from Connor. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. For a lot of people, the MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a first down on a gain of 10. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead, because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
On 1st and 10 is Connor, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
From the 46, here's the 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Daniels. That one caught by all, the tight end. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
They're just going to run a drive route here with their tight end. Let him get upfield about 10 yards and then move toward the middle of the field. This ball's right on target, and it results in a first down.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They run behind center with Connor. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd.
Far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 35, here's 2nd and a couple. Again, it's Connor. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 49 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. Connor up the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now a 2nd and 2. Here's a handoff to Connor. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. On the handoff, Connor. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Steps away to his left. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. And that last run, it's an important one. It moves him past Lamar Jackson and his record of 1,206 rushing yards by a quarterback in a single campaign.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
Connor is in for a touchdown. Well, nothing fancy there, Charles. You had 3 tight ends on the field. They were going to run the football. The defense knew it, but the defense couldn't stop them.
And I haven't met an offensive line yet that doesn't get more satisfaction out of running the football into the end zone than pass protecting. They had determination on their side, and they got it done.
Tucker now to add the point after. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Well, with 3 weeks left, they are in one of those 3 wild card spots, Charles, but that spot is not clinched, and there's not a ton of breathing room for them, so the bottom line, they just need to focus on winning right now.
Yeah, they totally have their eyes open, don't they? They know they've got teams trying to run them down. They can hear their footsteps. The question coaches ask guys in the locker room, do you have another gear left to pull away and lock in that playoff spot? If so, let's hit it.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Stroud. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties. He's able to knock that one away.
In motion left is Mitchell. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find it. Together as that brings up another 4th down.
So they bring out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Things have certainly gone their way in this one, largely thanks to the efforts of their running game. As we scroll through some of these highlights, this has been a masterclass on how to run the football. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunky yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd down and 6 now.
Here we go, set, check go.
Back to throw. Daniels. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Jonathan Grenard able to record his 5th sack of the season. Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Here's Cameron Johnston now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Stroud working out of the gun. A Cockrell holds it in left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down. They'll go up the middle with White. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Stroud looking to throw. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. So the completion gets him just a yard. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. They bring their punter out there now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 91 yards rushing now for Connor and a 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time. Making it work.
On the set. Set.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Here now, 2nd and 4.
Set.
Now it's the backup Rudolph. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Rudolph looking to throw. That is caught. Room past the 35. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one. Wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Here's a give to Davis Price. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Davis Price with it. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
As Stroud now to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes Trey Hendrickson. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's White. They set up the screen. Room past the 35. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Stroud. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And he goes out right around the 39. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, that one was covered pretty well because they were trying to leak the tight end out into the flat. I think they were hoping he could catch it and turn upfield and pick up the 1st down.
Here we go.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. That's complete out left to Ayuk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
This is White on the screen. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And good yardage there on 1st down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McLaughlin. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
A gain of 4 yards. Result is a 1st down.
All right.
A shotgun snap to Stroud. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And a 1st down.
All right.
Throwing now is Stroud. He's got Ayuk once again. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 12 more yards for him there. It's a 1st down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
And he's got it. Touchdown. Romeo Doubs with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. They start with a give to Connor, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this 4th quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the 4th quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Here now a 3rd down and 8.
Here we go, sack.
Now it's Rudolph being chased out left. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, I think he's just grateful to get back to the line of scrimmage and avoid not just losing yardage, but a big hit on that play as well. That defense closed on him quick and forced a quick surrender out of bounds.
37 yards on the punt with no return. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Stroud to throw it. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Stroud now on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Here's Connor. Down at the 35. It'll be 2nd down. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. Connor going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. Again, a run with Connor. Shreds the tackle. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red. Pick up of 5 or 6. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Now it's Connor. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
On the run is Connor. Able to push his way through. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The flag comes in. It's incomplete. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that one go. He broke that line of scrimmage and then let it fly, and that's an automatic flag.
Yeah, and you don't just lose the 5 yards there, but you lose it down as well. So he obviously needs to have better awareness about what he's going to do. Either tuck it and go or throw to a target and get that pass away.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you... If you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. Looking to throw. Stroud. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Stroud will look to throw once more. He's got this complete to Ayuk on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Stroud out of the gun here. He's got his target. That's complete. And he gets it down 1 yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That catch, I believe, will put him right at 200 yards for the game. Indeed, it does. 200 yards. He's been incredible. Now Stroud. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
In motion left is Mitchell. Stroud. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And that will be incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
All right.
Here goes Stroud again. Got a man, that's Ayuk. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. This 2nd and 4. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Stroud looking to throw. This is caught, and he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Okonkwo from 13 yards out. And his guys are able to cut into that deficit. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere, they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time, the tight end gets them.
Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent. He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
This is counter. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing now is Wolford. Dancing to his left. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to kick it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. It'll be just an 18-yard punt. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Open man down the field. This is Mitchell. He's to the 15. And touchdown. At 9, Mitchell with his first career NFL touchdown. And his guys are able to close that gap just a bit. For quarterbacks, there are a number of ways to measure a good statistical season. This is one of them. That last touchdown pass, his 30th on the year. McPherson now for the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally. But here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. Here's Wolford. A short throw there pulled in by All. And he is going to have a first down here. And that should be the one that seals a victory. They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the home team here, they are now 2 wins away from a perfect regular season as they run their mark to 15-0 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for our visitors, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.